Welcome to Mindless Entertainment. My name is Jesse Milestone, and today we're going to talk about me. That's right, M-E, as in this person right here, which is something I don't actually do a ton on this channel. Yeah, I just wanted to share some things because it's been I got some fun news yesterday, and it's making me take a good hard look at some things in my life, one thing in particular, and I don't want to go into too many details about the specifics of that because I just don't. But here's the thing. I always do things that are hard. I've always done that because I enjoy challenges. I enjoy being challenged. I have always gone after the things that are the most difficult to do because I find them to be the most rewarding. And one of the things I find rewarding about that is knowing that I may not succeed right away, but if I persist and I learn from my mistakes and I keep picking myself up and I keep going after the thing, that eventually I will succeed. I enjoy that feeling very, very much, which is why I've always chosen to do things that are difficult, and I've always shunned the path of least resistance. And sometimes I'm not a big give up person. I'm not a big quitting person. I've ended up in, doing things that I wasn't really interested in sometimes longer than I should have because I just didn't like the idea of giving up on it. And that's a problem when the thing that you refuse to give up on gave up on you a long fucking time ago. It's hard to learn that lesson. And this kind of ties into, I talked last October about unhealthy relationships in relation to a friend I just cut out of my life, and recognizing and being how proud I was that I'd recognized those signs early, because in the past I've had trouble doing that, and once you get invested in a person that's not healthy for you, it's very difficult to disentangle yourself from that, because there are things you like about them, you want to be there for them, you want to help them, because very frequently people, if your friendship is unhealthy, it's because there's something unhealthy about one of you or both of you, and so the thing is, relationships don't just exist between two people. They exist between you and your job. They exist between you and your hobbies. They exist between you and your community. Sometimes by the time you recognize how unhealthy the relationship is, it is far too late. This was not actually the case with this particular thing that I'm discussing. I was well aware from the beginning, because no one's shy about it, about discussing how very unhealthy this particular relationship is for most people who are involved with it. It's like a joke between all of us, which is why, when I finally made the call to give up, it's recent, I've talked to some people about it. Of course, the people I know outside of it are like, oh, is there anything you can do? Anyone you can talk to? Any way you can fix this or make this right? And the people you talk to in it all have the same answer. They're like, I get it. No one holds it against you. I've been in that situation with other people who've given up on the same thing, and I'm still being in it, very much in it myself. I've said, I don't blame you at all. And that's what you get. And you know something's wrong when that's the response. When people know how long you've worked for something, how many years you've put into it, how much you've sacrificed for it, and they watch you give it up, and their response is, I don't blame you. It's not, no, you should hold out a little longer. No, you should fight a little harder. No, you should try something different. It's just, I get it. I get it. I get why you're doing this, because you're not wrong about how abusive it can be, about how unfair it can be, about how capricious and unpredictable and irrational it can be. And look, you don't always have control over the things that happen to you, but I'm a firm believer that if you put effort and work into something, you should be able to see returns on it at some point. And it makes it harder when you watch other people put less effort for less amount of time and see the returns that you are busting your ass for and not getting, and not having a good or rational or logical explanation as to why not, and not having a way forward that in any way guarantees success. And in fact, what makes this worse It wouldn't be so bad. I've been disappointed before. I should be used to it. I should be expecting it at this point. What makes it worse is that I really thought this time was going to be different. I really thought I had done everything I needed to do, that I had checked all the boxes, that I had talked to all the people I needed to talk to, and that I was set. That when it came down to the next door I needed opened, that it was cracked and poised and ready to be opened. And I was so wrong. I was so wrong. And the way I had to find out is not a fun way either. No one bothers to tell you, hey, this thing you thought you were finally gonna earn, you're not. No one tells you that. You gotta go find it out. You gotta go hunt down that information. Which is also creates this weird culture that I hate too, where people who get the thing, because of how unfair everybody knows it is, people who get the thing are reticent to talk about it or, you know, be proud of themselves for it publicly, because they know how many other people will be hurt by that. So it's pretty brutal. I know I'm being super vague. I'm doing it on purpose. That's intentional. Some of you will know what I'm talking about. Some of you won't, and that's fine. The important thing to know is that I have busted my ass for the better part of a decade, for really close to a decade now, and I thought that I was there. And I've been willing to put aside, to forget so much of what I'd been through getting there, because I thought this was it. And it's not. And now it's never going to be, because I refuse to continue to be complicit in this system. Because I refuse to be personally humiliated by watching other people who didn't even exist in this thing when I started on this journey get the thing that I've worked for. And because that's the whole point. You know, people say, oh, if you wait longer, it'll mean more. No, at this point, it will mean nothing. At this point, even if I get it, it means nothing. Because, what? I mean, is something supposed to feel sweeter if it's the same thing somebody else got for working half as hard? It's supposed to feel better? Because that's the thing, is it's not like the end all be all. It's not like I get this thing and then it's done. It's I get this thing and then that's the next step, and it's working towards the next step and the next step. And it's all a process and a path, and there are so many people now who are so far ahead of me on that path. And will continue to be, because that's how it works. And there's nothing I can do about that. And I don't want to be a part of that anymore, for Christ's sakes. When you put 110% into something else's negative 10%, there's something wrong. There's a problem. When you put in this much time and work and effort and feel hated instead of appreciated, and feel talked down to and condescended to instead of thanked or for any of it. Not even thanked, just treated like a human. Just not treated like crap for it. There's something effing wrong. And at some point, like any unhealthy relationship, once you're in it, it takes always longer than it should to get out. But at some point, you're either going to be in it forever and it eats away at you until there's nothing left, or you get out while there's still something there. And I don't know if there's still something there, but I'm getting the F out. Yeah, it's just, I don't know what else to say about it. I am talking about this here because I don't know, because I'm frustrated, because I'm angry, because I hope that it makes other people examine their relationships with people in their lives and their communities, and understand that you don't have to keep doing it. You don't have to keep accepting punishment for things like this. And also because so people can see and understand that just because I am strong, it does not mean I'm strong all the time. And that's been a frustrating part of this process too. Oh, Jessie can take it. Oh, Jessie can handle it. Yeah, she can. She can handle a whole lot of garbage. But that doesn't mean she should, or that she will. So that's where I'm at. I'm not invincible. I'm not infallible by any stretch, and I'm not immune to the crap that the world throws at me. I'm not.